Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. She is a press-on nail artist. Please welcome Nails by Mikayla. Hello, Mikayla, and
Hey,
welcome to the show.
hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good.
That's absolutely great. So, I want to go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us about your upbringing.
So I'm originally from Bethesda, Maryland. I grew
Cool.
up uh, in between Northern Virginia and Southern Maryland, so in that DMV area.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
Lots of siblings. I have 8 siblings, and with my grandparents and just big family, big family.
Mm.
But yeah, it was a great. It was good.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Are you still in Maryland or?
Currently, my mom lives in Baltimore, so that's where I am right now. But
Okay.
I live in Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. So you're
Yeah,
local. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
from the DMV area too.
Okay, cool.
I was originally born in Washington D.C., but I live in
Okay,
Southern Maryland.
okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
that's
that's
where I
pretty
grew up.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's cool.
wild.
So what was like your school experience like in regards to like high school, college, and
Hmm.
what's that school experience like?
Yeah, so I went to high school, and straight out of high school, I was gonna go to school for photography. And then in my mind,
Mhm.
I was like, I'm not gonna pay all this money to get a degree in photography. So I
Right,
stopped school. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go back to school for psychology. I
right.
have I love like the mind. I love science, like all that stuff. So I was like, let me go back to that.
Hmm.
And then I got married. I started my nail business, and I was like, school right now is just not for me. So
Hmm.
I stopped doing that, but I did get a lot of information through doing that. And now I'm wanting to go to school again, but for nails.
Yeah, it's really cool. Going to beauty
Yeah.
school?
Yes.
Yeah, that's really, really
Yeah.
cool. So who or what exposed you to the nail industry?
Um, so I was working a desk job, and the person training me had like long nails on. And
Hmm.
I've gone to the salon a couple of times, but it was like gel manicures or like
Right.
short nails or whatever. But she had these long nails with this like pretty design. And I was like, where do you get your nails done? Because I want that. And then I started going, and as like an 18-year-old, you're not making that much money. I was like, I can't keep this up. So
Right.
that's when I started doing my own nails.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So you have your own personal nail business. I want to get into that more.
Okay.
It's called Nails by Mikayla.
Yes.
So what has been the journey so far in regards to having your own personal nail business?
It's definitely different than I thought. Um, it
Hmm.
wasn't until probably, so I started in 2021
Hmm.
April. So it wasn't until last April where I really found other like press on nail people and
Hmm.
like in the nail community, and I was like, oh wow. And so it was like cool to be able to feed off of other businesses, not copying, but just being
Right.
inspired to do things in my business. But it's definitely a lot different than I thought it was.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's that's my journey this far, but it has been um, a cool one.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So as far as like your press-ons, do you do like ready-mades? Do you do like custom orders, or do you do like a combination of both?
I do a combination of both. I think I've like done ready mades, and then like haven't really gotten orders for them, so I took them off. And then people
Hmm.
were like, "Oh, I just want to be able to like go up there and buy something. I don't want to have to like do that." So I put them back
Right.
on. So it's like this back and forth. But for the most part, I think I do custom.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So back in 2021,
Mhm.
you did a pop-up shop in Virginia where you sold
Yeah.
your own press-on nails. So
Yeah.
my question to you is like, for those who are new to selling press-ons,
Right.
would you recommend someone to sell their press-ons like at a small pop-up shop, farmers market, and things like that to start off?
Yeah, I would. I think it depends on
Mhm.
where you're at. I think in
Mhm.
where I was, the pop up shop that I did was like a part of a different event. So it
Mhm.
was at a store, and they called it Ladies Night. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I'm like,
That's cool.
catering to women. But then there's like other farmers markets where it's like people are going for like produce or like other
Right.
things like that, and you're like, okay, well, probably don't want to do it there. So my
Mhm.
advice to somebody that wants to do a pop up shop is, one, I had to get over my introvertness because I'm very much introverted.
Right, me
So
too.
being like pushing myself out there like to do that is hard, but getting past that, also finding a spot that is going to cater to what you want your business to be.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's stepping out of your comfort zone and things like that.
Right.
And,
Right.
I'm kinda, like, introverted too, but I'm like a blend, not fully
Yeah.
introverted, but once you get to know me, I'm like, I like to socialize with other people and things like
Yeah.
that.
That's exactly how I am.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm like a blend.
Right.
So yeah, just in regards to also with press-ons, what would you say would be the biggest misconceptions or the common mistakes people make in regards to like having a press-on business or wanting to start up a press-on business?
Yeah. I think the biggest misconception that I ran into was it was going to be this like get rich quick. Like it was going to be
Yeah.
like people want nails, but they don't feel like sitting in the salon. But then
Mhm.
you realize with yourself, like for me, my cheapest nails are $20, and that's on the
Mhm.
cheaper side for a lot of people. But
Right.
they can range up to 75, 90. Like they get higher, and people are like, I don't want to pay almost $100 for some press-ons. So it's like you have to find the right people that want that and are willing to invest into you as a small business, but
Right.
also they're like, yeah, the press-ons are a lifestyle that I want to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
people don't consider there again, it's just kind of like they don't consider the products, the quality of the
Right.
products that we pay.
Yeah.
Like, like a bottle, say for instance, of Madam Glam or CND or whatever it is, could be like 15 to 20 bucks.
Right. Exactly.
So the thing is
Yeah.
that I think people have to consider the quality of the products that we use, but also the quality of the nail tips, because those could be expensive too.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And I use a Prey tips, and those are $30 a
Mhm.
box, easy. So that's
Yeah.
one box that I'm spending $30 for.
Mhm.
That you're not seeing. You're just seeing the end result.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. And plus also too, I think what people don't see also is the intricate amount of detail you put into them.
Yes.
That's what makes the
Right.
price how it is.
Yeah, exactly. You sit down
Mm,
for, I mean, like a solid set might take me 30 minutes because of the prep and then like, making sure that they look good in the box and
right.
taking pictures for like Instagram. Like there's all this stuff that you're doing. And that's just for solid colors. If you're doing designs and things that could,
Mhm.
you could be sitting down for hours.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. So what are 3 things you wish you knew before you started, having your own personal business?
I would say one, that not everybody's going to get it. Not
Right.
everybody's going to want the press ons. I think, two is that the medium is different. So I grew up an artist. I've done, painting, drawing, sketching, all of those things. And
Mhm.
then I was like,
Same.
oh, that's going to be easy. Throw it on some nails, and it's a completely different ball game. So just like instead of being like, oh, I can do this like straight off the bat, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm taking my time to learn these things.
Right.
Um, and the third one is actually just you're always learning. There's always new things coming out. There's always new trends coming out. It's you're not going to get to the top and like that's it. And if you think you've reached the top, you're at the bottom. Cuz it's like you get there and then people are like doing all these different things and you're like, "Oh, I just got gel,
Mhm.
but now I'm having to learn all these other things." So, it's
Mhm.
definitely a learning thing and I wish I would have known that going into it because I would have prepared better.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. And the thing is also too is that like the nail industry and especially the advancement of products and things, like it's always changing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's a lot more advanced than how it was 10, 15 years ago. Like I
Mhm.
remember, like I was saying, certain people that I've interviewed, like the crackle polish that was out.
Yes,
You
I
know what I
remember
mean?
that.
Everybody did nail art, not everybody, but most people did nail art in terms of using acrylic paint.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Before the gels, were really the thing.
Right.
So, I like how the nail industry has evolved in terms of products.
Yes, for sure. I like that as well.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, I want to ask this other question. Do you feel like, the nail scene is underrated in the DMV area? Because I kind of feel that way a little bit.
Yes, I do. 100%. I think that there's some people that are like all out. I can do this all out, but for your day to day, because I think in this area, it's like I'm a 9 to 5, work for the government. I do typing
Right.
jobs. Like I want my nails to be short and simple and to the point. And then also, I think a lot of like retail jobs, or especially like food places like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, things like that, they don't want you to have the long nails or just fake nails in general because they don't want it to fall off into your food or whatever.
Hmm.
I worked for Chick-fil-A for very little amount of time. And they told me I couldn't have long nails, and that was like, I'm like, that's who I am. That's what, like, I wear long nails. That's a part of my personality, I guess, if you will. Um,
Hmm.
and so to not be able to do that was like hard. And I think that in this area, it's really hard to find people that are also willing to be outside of the box and wear the long nails or even just fake nails in general.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you look at places like, certain parts of California, or you look at New York, or you look at
Yeah.
like, certain areas that's popular in terms of that, especially like or international ones like the UK,
Yeah.
London and stuff like that. Those are
Right.
very like big in terms of, I think of nail art and things like that. But with
Yeah.
the DC metropolitan area, it's not as big in
Yeah.
regards to nail artistry and things like that. That's saying with like the
Yeah.
fashion scene in the Washington DC area, like it's not as big as how it is in New York, London, Paris, Milan, and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So the thing is, I want to get to this other question. So if you had
Okay.
a top five list of your favorite nail artists, who would they be and why?
Oh, I saw this one and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. Um, so I recently started following Chon Legend. I don't know
Mhm.
if you know who he is.
Yeah.
And I really just like have fallen in love with the way he does things, the way that they turn out. I watch YouTube channels where he's like doing interviews and things, and he's just so chill, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
like, I can vibe with that because I'm such a chill person. You could come sit down and talk, and you won't hear a peep from me. Like, I can just be quiet while you vent away or whatever, and I feel like
Right.
that's like how he is. um but that's one of them. I think a lot of my favorite nail artists are just people that I've met in the press on nail community. um
Hmm.
I think you know Jerry, Dippy Cow Nails.
Yeah. Hmm.
She's just been a really big inspiration to me in general.
Right.
I found her last year as well, and she's just, seeing from where she came from to like where she is now. It's like that's an example of like learning and being able to
Hmm.
put in the work to be able to keep growing. And so
Right.
I don't know if I have five, but I did name the two. Those two people I do look at a lot for inspiration for my business and just how I do nails in general.
Yeah, that's really,
Yeah,
really cool. Yeah,
yeah,
Jerry, yeah, she's very talented with press-ons.
she is for sure.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Her, I would say Noted by Chelsea,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, The Nail Factory,
Mhm.
Dreamy Little Nails, Minute
Yeah,
Nails, you
yeah.
know. So yeah, so there's some talented press-on nail artists out there.
There are for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to also get into within the journey of you being a press-on nail artist, what are some things that you've learned within the journey, but also what are some things that you found the most rewarding?
Okay, so I got into the press on nail, like, I guess, industry, um, because I wanted to dip my toe into the water of the nail
Mhm.
industry as a whole.
Right.
At some point I decided, you know what, I actually want to be a nail technician. And so I was like,
Mhm.
let me start with press-ons because I can start doing that at my house. I can like learn these things without doing them on people directly.
Right.
If I mess up on a nail, I can throw it away. I don't have a client right in front of me. I can just like, keep
Yes.
starting over.
Mhm.
And so that's been really rewarding in my growth as an artist in general, is just being able
Mhm.
to learn and not being rushed and not feeling like somebody's going to walk away with a bad set,
Right.
because I wasn't doing my best. Um,
Mhm.
and so that was one of the things that I learned. But going forward, um, I think what has been very challenging is that I want to become a nail tech. And so to see people moving on doing nail tech stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm still doing press ons.
Mhm.
I almost got dissatisfied just doing it, but I had to keep reminding myself of literally what I just told you, is like, I use this as a learning step. And not
Right.
that I'm going to stop doing press ons going forward, but it will be a part of the bigger picture. of my business.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah, I do, like, regular, like, manicures and pedicures, but also I
Mhm.
like doing, like, press-ons and things like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should be really discouraged at all just because, there's people that do press-ons and they make press-ons and sell them and things like
Right.
that,
Yeah.
so they don't not every person is doing, like, nail service related stuff,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so yeah.
I think a lot of I've told a couple people that and they're like, "So you just hate like press-ons?" And I'm like, "No, I don't hate press-ons." And people make careers and live off of just doing press-ons, but for me
Right.
personally and in my journey, it is just a step to
Right.
the bigger picture of my business. And so it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be like, you have a client in front of you, but you can
Right.
make a living off of press-ons. It's just going to take some work.
Mhm. Now
Yeah.
where do you see, like, your business going, like, in the next, like, 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, I'm hoping to become an independent nail tech. I have a
Mhm.
lot of like plans that are just kind of like floating around in my head. But the next step is to um, be certified in Gel X. I've been dipping my toes in that for a
Mhm.
while, and it's
Okay.
been really fun just to learn. I've been doing it on myself. It's been really fun to just learn it and do the process and so that's what I'm working on now is getting my certification in that. But within the next
Mhm.
year, I'm planning on going to nail school to become a nail technician. And hopefully by year
Mhm.
5, I have a large enough clientele to come back and tell you guys that I did it successfully.
Yeah, that'd be really,
Yeah.
really cool. I wanna
Yeah.
also get into this other question. In terms of the nail industry, what are some things you like about the industry, and what's some things you think the industry could improve on?
Things that I like is that it's very, what's the word I want to use? I guess supportive, since like finding other press on nail artists and even just nail technicians that have come like to me and just said, "Hey, your work's good" or whatever, like it's very supportive and everybody's wanting everybody to grow. Nobody's gatekeeping anything. It's like very,
Mhm.
I just want to be able to share my knowledge with you
Right.
and
Mhm.
we're going to grow together. We're going to keep learning this thing together. Some things that I think that it can improve on though are some of the bigger nail industries not being as inclusive and as um
Mhm.
what's the word I want to use? I guess like supportive of
Mhm.
all of the like the whole picture. Like press-ons are part of the nail industry, but
Right.
there's a lot of businesses that will just kick them away because it's like no, we're catering to um I don't know, acrylics and gel X only,
Right.
or we only want to sell gel polish and nothing else, or and I think as a whole, the nail industry could do better at incorporating everything. Hey, if you want to buy this gel product for your press-ons, like go with this one. If you want to apply your press-ons after painting them, like here's a product for that or whatever. Like
Right.
just making it more inclusive so that we're all growing together.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. I think also too, not only that, I think, I don't know if you seen my panel discussion I did the last week. If you
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't get to see it?
No, I didn't.
But yeah, I did a panel discussion the last week in regards to credibility and accountability in the nail industry. I
Yeah.
definitely believe that within this nail industry, there has to be more credibility and accountability within the industry,
Yeah.
especially in regards to, certain brands, especially in regards to the importance of, giving nail artists credit in regards to nail inspo and things of that nature.
Yes.
I think that's something that's definitely that has to be improved on.
Yes. I actually did see that. I did see that. But yes, yes, I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
Mm, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to also get into your podcast. So it's called the
Okay.
Cozy Girl Fancy Nails Podcast. So what
Yes.
was the whole decision behind, doing your own podcast?
Yeah, so I love podcasts. Like I listen to them all day long. I have a full-time job outside of press-ons. And so during my job, I have my headphones in, I'm listening to podcasts. Like that's just my thing.
Right.
Um and I was trying to do something that was like different outside the box. I just have a
Mhm.
love for nails. Like that's just Like the bottom line is like I just love nails and I want to share with people the things that I've learned throughout my journey.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to take people on my journey to become a nail technician because that's something that I've
Right.
dreamt about doing. Um, and so just as I'm learning and as I'm growing, like I think the last one I did, I just found some like Reddit stories and I was like, let's just talk about these nail salon like issues. And just being able to talk about it like
Right.
just brings so much joy without the hassle of like trying to sell my product and push it onto people and be like, hey, try press ons. I promise it's not that bad. So it's like just a it's just a outlet to be able to be like, oh, I can just talk about this stuff and the
Right.
people that want to listen can listen and the people that don't have to.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So you offer also a master class in regards to people who want to learn the tricks of the trade in regards to selling press-ons. So tell us
Yes.
more about the master class.
So I am starting next, oh, I guess this upcoming Friday. I
Mm,
am showing like all of these fall designs that I have gotten like people have wanted me to do in previous years, and
mhm,
I've gotten people ask like, "Hey, how do you do that? How do you do that?" So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it all together, package it up, and I'm gonna put it in my
mhm,
master class. The master class is split into kind of two things. I have a
mhm,
membership where I just have people in there that like to talk about nails. They ask questions, and I'm going to be doing like live demos throughout those. But then I also just have um, like this class will be just sold. So if you want to be able to just have the how do I do this without the membership, you can just purchase that as well.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, how much is like the master class and stuff? If
just
it,
the just the master class, not the membership.
yeah, just the master class.
Yeah, that's $35.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah, so not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
uh, last but not least, where can people find you on social media? How can people support you and your work?
So you can find me at Nails by Mikayla. It's nails by period Mikayla or Cozy Girl Fancy Nails on Instagram. I also have a TikTok, but I'm not really on there, so no hard feelings. And then I have Cozy Girl Fancy Nails on YouTube as well, and that's where you can see my podcast and other videos that I do.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mikhail, for jumping onto the show. I love what you're doing. I've really enjoyed our conversation. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading knowledge and being yourself, and and keep going with your nail artistry.
thank you so much. It was nice talking to you.
Yes, absolutely. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Bye bye. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye bye.